Today, we're gonna build a $99 a month Google review tracker that you can build and sell to any small business that's getting Google reviews. The tracker uses AI to take the review and respond to it with personalization in your voice. With this awesome prompt here, I'll show you exactly how to build it. There are literally products charging 99 bucks a month or more for something that you can build all within Zapier. Honestly, guys, this is gonna be sweet. We're gonna build this out. Literally, you don't need Airtable. All you do is hook up your Google My Business profile, and then reviews start pouring into this table. And then with a click of a button, they hit reply, it sends it directly as a response to the review on Google. So if you're an AI automation owner or an agency owner, this is the perfect thing to sell to small businesses. All right, let's get into it. So we're here in Zapier. Now, if you don't have a Zapier account, you do need to get a 14-day free trial, or you're gonna have to do just the first tier of the paid plan, which is about 20 bucks a month. But that's all you're gonna need to really build this out, which is nothing when you look at the actual value that it's gonna provide. So the first thing we're gonna do is just build out the Zap to bring in those Google reviews. So Zapier has this handy little copilot that you can ask to build you stuff. So I'll do that. So new Google review. Then we're gonna do AI by Zapier to reply. And then we are going to create a record in Zapier Tables. And then we're gonna add a filter. And then lastly, outbound email by Zapier. And we'll just hit enter, see what it comes up with. This is honestly, it's just so quick to build these things. And it'll go through and actually suggest the outline using AI. And then this looks pretty good. Everything except for the trigger. So we'll add everything else. And then let's go ahead and we'll just type in Google. Oh, it's because it's Google My Business. I think that's probably, it was hard to find that. Google Business profile. There it is. Cool. All right. So now we've got the basic structure already set up. Then in the Google Business profile, we're going to say new review. And then this is where you have to authenticate the Google My Business profile, the actual account. We have one. I'll just work from that and click continue. You would choose the account and then you would choose the location. Now, if there were multiple locations, that could easily be set up by just creating another Zap, and then this would then it would run for that one too. Click continue. We'll test the trigger, and a review will pull in here. Perfect. So we'll continue with that. Now, this is where Zapier has its own AI that you can leverage instead of getting an OpenAI API key and dealing with all that. You can just type in AI by Zapier, and then there's an event, analyze and return data. And what's so cool about this is that there's a prompt assistant built in. So you don't have to think about the prompt that you want to build. You're basically saying, like, you can type it out and it will create the prompt for you. So we're saying, you will receive new reviews on our Google business page. Craft a short and appropriate response that will be later edited and sent by our team. All right, generate prompt. So you just give it a couple sentences and then it expands the prompt and fills it all out for you, including fields that you might need from that trigger step, which is mind-blowing. So easy. So here we go. It tells the AI, you're a master of customer service, perfect responses to Google reviews. It says, given the following review for your business, the reviewer has the display name, and then the review, let's see. So it looks like it's pulling in a reply comment. We can always change that up. Let's see, viewer name, comment. There it is. That's what we want. All right, so you do have to work with it just a little bit, right? And then it says the task, Keep the responses concise. Perfect. If the review is negative, apologize for the experience, offer to make it right. This is great. So it has everything, including an example. So good. Uh, Amazing. So you could add in stuff here if you want, like where they should contact you at, like an email or whatever else. Again, this is just generating a response and a draft that your team could edit later. So this looks great. We'll go ahead and sure we'll test the step because it's just generating a reply. And now here is where you'd create the record in Zapier Tables, and we'll get back to this in a second because we'll have to create that table. We'll finish this zap out, and then we'll create the table, and we'll go into that. So the record would be created in the table, but in this zap, we want to only continue and make sure that like the business owner is notified if it's 3 stars or less. So we're going to continue if the rating, the number rating, is less than 4. So it'd be 3, 2, or 1. And if it is less than 4, then we'll send an email. So you could have this send, obviously, to the business owner. I'll just put in my email here, and I'll say, review needs your attention. Then you just map in the details. This one, and you say comment, and then the rating was 5. There we go. Okay, so this will send you an email. Of course, you could like send yourself a Slack message, whatever, or you don't even have to do this if you are checking your reviews once a day and you're fine with someone waiting. So we'll skip the test. All right, so now we got the Zap basically done except for the tables step. And so from here, we can actually create a table. So we'll just click create table. And a lot of people don't know this. Zapier has a tables product, which is amazing. It's built into Zapier. So you don't have to go to Google Sheets and Airtable or somewhere else to have a database that you can use in an automation. This is, when you start building a ton out, this just saves so much time to keep it in one spot. And so we'll open it up and we'll start filling out the fields in the table to make sure we'll capture everything from the Google review. All right, so here we are. The first thing we want is, let's call it the actual rating itself. And this will be a number. Click save. And then we'll want the reviewer's name, text, perfect. And then we'll also want the review itself. If they left an actual text review, I guess they can leave just a star review. I forget, but we'll have that in there. And then we'll want an actual, it's like a review ID. And this is for when we respond back through Zapier. We'll create another Zap to do that. And it will need the actual ID to go and actually go respond on Google. And so we'll capture review ID. And then we will also have a button, which we'll set up in a moment. Actually send the reply. We'll say send. It'll be enabled. And then once someone sends a reply, we'll disable the button. That way someone can't send a reply twice. That would not be good. So click create. All right, so we got the basics of this table. Let's go back into the Zap and finish that out and add a record here so we can work with it. And let's just give this a new name. All right, back in the Zap, just refresh the fields. Those will come in. Now we just map the data. We could use Copilot here. Let's see what that does for us. It'll go in and actually go try to map the fields for us. Oh, you know what? There's one thing we are missing from the table. It's the actual reply, right? So that's what we need. We'll insert after here. The reply, that's where AI is gonna drop in. Great, there we go. Looks like Copilot is there's reply, not doing it for us. That's fine. It's still a work in progress. It's beta. Has the beta tag. You kind of let things slide a little bit. That's fine. All right. So the rating, we'll go ahead and map that in. The reviewer name, there it is. The review itself, Good stuff. I like it. Okay, and then here's the review ID. This is what we need to make sure is in there for when we send that reply. So it's called name. That's what you need. I've done this already, so I know that's kind of what you need. You don't actually need that ID. It's the name. So we're gonna go and click that and make sure we record it. All right, we'll test the step. That way it'll create a record in the Zapier table. Perfect. There it is. Beautiful. And then let's also make sure the reply is in there too. So let's go ahead. We'll go back here. We'll delete this record. It's always good to just run through and test things like this, obviously, and make sure things look good. There's the response. Perfect. Continue. We'll retest it. Testing steps in Zapier is free to do. So you can get things just right. It's not going to take up any tasks or anything within Zapier. Cool. So we'll just name this reviews, generate, reply, add to table. Love it. We'll click publish. That thing will be good to go. It'll keep running. All the reviews will start populating in Zapier tables. Also, one thing, any tasks that are used within tables don't count either. So it makes this all really cost effective. Again, another plus of building it all in Zapier. So here we have a review, looks good. Now, if we look at sort of what we're building here, we have new review come in. We've sort of built out this first Zap, and now we have a table where people are going to be able to edit and review the reply. Then we just need the click a button, publish the reply. That's all we need. That's the Zap we need. Very easy to do. What we do is we just click this button, and then because it's within Zapier, you can click create. It'll set up a Zap for you that you just go click into and edit. So it says, hey, the button's clicked. We'll run a test. This doesn't do anything. This will just give us a record that we put in there. It looks good. Now we need a Google My Business or Google Business profile. I always forget. And then the event is create reply. We'll select the same account, click continue. Now the review name, see, that's what they need. And that is what we have in the table. So when the button's clicked, it takes all the fields from the table and gives it to us. So review ID, that's what we had named it. You know, to make it easy, we could go back here and we could call this review name. That way it matches up. Now, when we make that change, it's not going to affect anything here, which is great. You can just keep mapping things in. So the reply, that'll come from the table. There it is. Beautiful. Continue. I won't test this because this will publish it live. So we'll just skip that test and we will make this app publish live. So, okay. So those are the two Zaps. At this point, things are already set up. It was that easy. Reviews will come in here. People are, if you know, as an admin, you could just work from Zapier tables and you could edit the reply. And maybe we want to make this a long text field. There we go. That way you can see the reply a little easier. You know, we could be like, hey, look, that's just like too many exclamation points. Change it up a bit. But hey, that looks pretty good. Enjoyed your time. So you could do all this right here. And then when you click send, it'll send it out and you'd be done. Now, if you have a team though, and you want to make this prettier, you don't want to show them all these buttons and automate your day. They don't need to know any of this, right? If you have a team, they don't need to know how this works. They don't need to see it. They don't even need a seat within Zapier. What you do is you create an interface. And so that's something that is another product within Zapier. You can create it all within Zapier. So when we go to interfaces and we click create, what it's going to do is it's going to take this table as the database and use it in an interface that you can manage users, you can change colors. It's just like a little prettier to look at and is great for sharing with the team. So when it loads up, you're going to have a couple things here. It automatically creates a table view and it also creates a form view in case you wanted to add data into that table. Of course, we wouldn't really need this because these are the tables being populated straight from the Google reviews that come in, right? So we don't need anyone like manually entering in data. Let's just look at the table view. So we go here, we can see the table with the review showing up here. Great, I like it. What I probably want to do to make this look better is just add some images and some text. So we'll add an image here, upload, we'll choose a nice Google review image. We'll just drag that up. And then, yeah, I mean, that looks good. I could add some text. Well, I'll do that real quick. So review tracker, and then a little instructions for my team, right? Edit the reviews from the table. When they look good, send the reply. I guess it's edit the reply, right? The reply. Cool. All right, and we'll just drag that up above the table. And then we can go into the table settings and adjust some things. We don't want them to create new records. We do want them to be able to edit. We'll make it full width so we can see everything. And then some of the data we can show, we don't need that review name, right? The bunch of ID, that's just for the Zap. We'll take that out. Everything else though, yes, we definitely need. So we'll keep that in there. Okay, now just a couple other things. Let's just make this look a little better. Green, I like it. Click save. And then access and users is the other thing. So we can say, hey, anyone with a password can access it. And you type in a password. Lovely. And so when someone comes here, they see this login page and they have to, let me get rid of this. So when they come here, I would have to type it in. Did I type it in right? Yes, I did. Boom. So I'm here. Love it. Cool. They can go in here. They see the reply. They can change the reply. And then when they're ready, click send. Now, what I could do is a couple other things. I could do, hey, just manage users, and I could actually decide who can log in via like Google or a magic link. And when that happens, they will have to sign in or log in that way. And you'll see here their email address. So you could really lock this down if you want. And we could also add in additional pages and tabs and make like navigation, add links. Of course, we just need this, but this becomes now this really nice customizable hub for your team to be able to do all this work without having to create the Zaps. But that's it. I mean, there's more you could do with this, but that is your straight up Google review tracker built entirely in Zapier with an interface you could share with your team. It's gonna reply to reviews if you want to send the reply, or you can edit the reply and send them yourself. And if we go and let's just click send, I'll show you. Let's make sure we're logged in here. There we go. Refresh. Let me get rid of this. Hey, we'll just say anyone with the link can do it, just so you can see. All right. So once we're here, this looks good. Let's go ahead and click send. Perfect. So once it's sent, this grays out, so no one can send it again. Now, other things you could do is you could record like when it's sent. You could update this table. It was a field with like date sent or a link to it so that people can click and go there. Or you could, archive this from the view so they only see new reviews that come in. So if I wanted to do that, then I would go in here and I would open up the table, and then I'd want to add in additional fields like a checkbox or something that says, archive. And when people click the checkbox, then it would archive from view. So let's see, checkbox, archive. Cool. We just add that in there, and then we go back into the interface, and we'll see archives an option there, and we'll say, hey, we'll add a filter and say we want the archive to be is exactly, let's see. Something's off here a little bit. Archive is exactly. It looks like we found a little bug. Oh, is exactly. There it is. Okay, so it's toggled. Do we want archive to be toggled on? Like yes, checked, or off? So we'll say off. So when we do that, false. Got it. Then in the interface, we'll see the archive button. When we toggle it, it'll disappear. Cool. So I hope you like this. If you want to see more stuff like this, definitely subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll see more kind of detailed full tutorials from scratch building it in Zapier. I'll see you guys in the next video.